Come and run away with us as we explore Sri Lanka, the Pearl of the Indian, from its historical sites, cultural dancing, tea plantations, scenic railways, surf beaches, World Heritage sites, and unique wildlife.
So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come and sit by our chairs? Don't you want a man who fully understands a sailor's heart, a sailor's heart.
When our friends on Charm&S arrive, Brendan and Rob are there to catch their lines and welcome them to Sri Lanka.
Hey guys. Hey.
Woo! The boys help another boat moor behind us, and we're all tucked in safely into the harbour.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Fine.
That's good. Oh, perfect. You have a good night? Yeah? Have a good day. Every day it's the same. Hello, good morning, Captain. Nah. So have a good night. Oh, fine. I love them. Yes. I love the head bubble. It's so friendly.
So that I worked out it either means yes or it's a respect thing. And in Sri Lanka they do like a figure eight, and in India they just do a side to side.
Right. I'll put my neck out trying to do that.
From a figure eight.
They're great. They're all so friendly.
But it's soon time to hit the road on our whirlwind tour of Sri Lanka, and first up, it's a cultural Candyland dance, which also features on the currency here. We weren't entirely sure what to expect, but let me tell you, we were pleasantly surprised.
A little bit red in the face. Lion's strong, 8.8%.
Settle down, boys.
Thank you very much.
You can feel the heat.
I want to do it. It's unbelievable.
How was that, guys?
Unbelievable.
We can't put that on YouTube.
We did not expect that at all.
Awesome.
Yeah, so good. I'm high, buzzing.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll do it again.
8.8.
My cheeks are sore from it, like smiling.
Next morning, we were up to visit the Temple of the Sacred Tooth, located in the Royal Palace complex of the former Kingdom of Kandy. It houses the relic of the tooth of Buddha, and since ancient times the relic played an important role in politics because it is believed that whoever holds the relic holds the governance of the country. The relic was historically held by Sinhalese kings.
Beautiful, babe. You match the flowers.
Fortunately,
Offering.
I don't really get embarrassed, so it's all good. Our driver is saying a couple little prayers. Have you had an elephant before? Look how calm that elephant just got when the boys got there.
The temple attracts many visitors and worshippers, and we happened to be there on one of their busiest days. If you're claustrophobic or not into crowds, this might not be for you. The kids were a little overwhelmed, in fact. On Wednesdays, there is a symbolic bathing of the relic with a herbal preparation made from scented water and fragrant flowers said to have healing powers, and devotees line up for their share. A small museum is dedicated to the Sri Lankan tusker elephant named Raja, who is said to have carried the tooth relic. It was a fascinating sight and a morning with many blessings. Next on the itinerary was a trip to the Royal Botanic Gardens, renowned for its collection of orchids.
Botanical Gardens, I'm looking for the beer garden. Beer garden. That's what we want.
The gardens include more than 4,000 species of plants, including orchids, spices, medicinal plants and palm trees, and as we found out, even some trees from Australia.
Oh, that one's cool. That's like a flycatcher one. Avenue of the Palms. That's incredible.
And the kids couldn't resist climbing this tree. Even the big kids, in fact.
Oh, the kids are bouncing it. I feel like I'm back on a boat. It's called a double palm. Double palm conservatory.
That's a tree trunk, eh?
Kauri palm.
And the reason we're all wearing party shirts, you ask?
Go Sri Lanka!
A trip to the cricket was an absolute must.
First cricket match, mate.
I know. How sad is that? The first cricket match I've ever been to, and it's in Sri Lanka. That's actually not sad. It's quite a cool thing to say.
Cool.
Okay.
And they're killing it.
Yeah, well, they got 266 or 267 runs to chase, which I reckon they'll do easy.
They'll smash it. The way their form out there is pretty good now.
Yeah, poor old Afghan. There's not much love here for him, that's for sure.
The band came out to entertain the crowds, and we lost Kamar at one point. But I found her busting a move with the Sri Lankan mascot. And we even witnessed one of the players score a century. What a fun day out. It was time to say goodbye to Candy and hit the road again, but not before getting a Sri Lankan t-shirt, of course.
Every person, okay, I'll wear this to the T20. T20. It's good for yourself.
We stopped roadside for some king coconut, native to Sri Lanka, before reaching the World Heritage Site, Dambulla Cave Temples. The boys donned their sarongs again and we set off to explore. Dambulla is the largest and best preserved cave temple complex in Sri Lanka. Major attractions are spread over 5 caves, which include statues and paintings. There are a total of 153 Buddha statues, 3 statues of Sri Lankan kings, and 4 statues of gods and goddesses. And one cave has 1,500 painted Buddhas covering the ceiling. Dambulla Golden Temple houses the Buddhist Museum. Our next stop was another World Heritage Site. So this is the inner moat. There's an outer moat. We had crocodiles and a drawbridge. That is cool.
You can see on the way 3 garden builds, even the Stone period built everything. But now we are up here, the miniature water garden. And after water garden, what we call rock garden and terrace garden, part of this miniature water garden. According to the legend, this king, he was how many concubines? 1 official queen, 500 unofficial concubines.
500.
500.
Goodness gracious.
Busy guy. 2,500 million years old.
Wow.
250 billion years old. One big farm amount. This is very hard stone. There are granites. Around area.
We're going to the top?
Yes.
With helicopter?
No, by walk.
What?
Not
Only kidding.
Oh yeah, I know that.
When it's in the rain, heavy rain.
Day and night. Stop.
Beautiful, isn't it? Big little rock. Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, is an ancient rock fortress said to be the 8th wonder of the world.
Bricks, then plastered and highly polished like a natural mirror. Have a look like this angle. Whoa. So be shiny, highly polished like a mirror.
Yeah.
your dad, I'll never know.
Cobra rock.
Oh, the cobra.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sure.
Brendan.
It's a big one, another one.
Here's a big one. Bigger one in there. Yeah, of course there is. Stand up. Yeah.
Oh, what?
That's a python, yeah? So cool.
Oh my goodness. He's just had a feed too by the look of him. He's got a big lump in his belly. Yeah.
Go on.
Does that cost more money?
Heavy.
Ready.
What?
That's so creepy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you're freaking out. I'm the one that got bit by a snake.
On our way back, we pull over to watch an elephant taking a bath.
Taking a bath.
And back at our lovely homestay, we are treated to a traditional Sri Lankan breakfast of egg hoppers. Then it's time to hit the road again, where we see some interesting sights along the way, including farmers drying their rice on the roadside, and some interesting carpool transportation. The kids are absolutely tuck it out by the time we reach Polonnaruwa, so it's just Kumar and I off for a bicycle tour of the ruins. The second oldest of all Sri Lanka's kingdoms, Polonnaruwa was first established as a military post by the Sinhalese kingdom. The ancient city has been declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Polonnaruwa remains one of the best planned archaeological relic cities in the country. Next stop was Ella, to visit the scenic 9-arch bridge. And we drove to a car park just outside of town to hike to this famous railway bridge, also known as the Bridge in the Sky. It has become a major tourist attraction, but it certainly pays to know the train's timetable before you walk through the tunnel. I couldn't get over the amount of people just standing on the bridge as the train rolled by. That certainly wouldn't happen in Australia, folks. All the Karens would be out in force. Aw, romantic stroll on a railway bridge, guys.
It's beautiful. This is.
What, is it good at the other side?
Yeah, it's really nice. The
Just
view is
there's
nice.
a swarm of wasps on that
Halfway
side.
through.
Ah.
So the bridge was built entirely of rocks and brick and cement and no metal.
No
No
matter.
metal in the construction bridge.
Wow.
It is 103 years old, and it's one of the finest examples of colonial era architecture, bridge architecture, railway architecture.
It is pretty
Nice.
impressive.
Thanks for the info.
No worries. Wikipedia.
Good old wiki.
This poor cow decided to join us, getting pretty spooked by the crowd. This viaduct bridge stands just over 24 metres high and is surrounded by lush jungle, and it's absolutely spectacular. Next morning, we went to Damodara to buy our tickets for the Odyssey Express train, which crosses the Nine Arches Bridge.
Just jumped on the, what's this train called? The Sri Lanka Express, or whatever it is. Going for Arana Express. We'll go for a bit of a burn around the countryside in Sri Lanka. Thank you, Mo and Wall. You never get to do anything like this without the old, we call it a shanking at the moment, where you get ripped off. We bought tickets from one of the gentlemen at the train station. He's like, no, I can't see your tickets, and we eventually convinced him to sell us one, and then we got on the train and the conductor goes, no, get off, these aren't real. We're like, no mate, we just bought them off that guy there, and after a little bit of deliberation they decided to let us stay on, but oh mate, it never stops here, it never stops. It's crazy. This is apparently a pretty famous train line. It runs all the way from Colombo, basically all the way down to Ella, right in the middle of Sri Lanka. We rode a bike up there yesterday and just actually sat on the bridge as the train goes past it. So we thought it'd be fitting today to actually jump on the train and run through the bridge and through the tunnel all the way to Ella. And then we're going to catch it to Nowra Ella, which is the tea capital of Sri Lanka. So it should be an interesting little trip. And there comes the famous 9-arch bridge.
Once again, we start seeing tourists precariously close to the tracks. We must be drawing near to the Nine Arches. We had no idea the train would stop on the bridge, but Brendan took the opportunity to fly the drone and capture this video.
This is unbelievable. How good is Sri Lanka?
No safety here, guys.
No safety at all. We're moving. We're out of here. Here comes the tunnel.
It was a cool experience to stand in the open doorways and be able to capture footage or photos. The train rolls through jungles and villages as it makes its way up the hill. We passed many beautiful waterfalls, as well as the old vintage red train along the line. And the train also reaches the summit of Sri Lanka.
That for a crowd. What do you think of that?
It was unreal, eh? I loved every minute of that. Seeing those tea plantations all on the side of the hill.
Our next visit was to the tea plantations of Nuwara Eliya. Brendan flew the drone, which entertained some local Tamil kids. And we took a tour of the Labukali tea factory. Traditionally, women pick tea in Sri Lanka, picking on average 20 kilos of leaves per day. Tea leaves are then laid out on these large tables to air dry. And then they enter the factory where the fermentation process begins. They are dried, cut and packed here in the factory. The tour was complimentary, and at the end you get a lovely cup of tea, and it's worth purchasing the delicious tea cake. And we all decided to make a purchase in the gift shop as well. Leaving the cool tea country, we headed back down towards Ella. A tuk-tuk that's a bakery. Now that's my kind of tuk-tuk. We stopped at Ravana Waterfall, and we also made a pit stop for some local delicacy.
Oh, we got a seat.
So what are we doing here, Kamar? You know all the intel about this.
We're gonna get some curd, which is like a buffalo yogurt, maybe, possibly. And it's gonna have jaggery honey on it, which is not really honey, but it's like a sweet thing made from the sap of the palm tree.
Right.
So here we go.
Nice.
Never tried it, but I'm excited.
See how it goes.
You wanna have a look?
Yeah. Open it up.
I'm not sure it looks as appetizing as I
Nope.
had kind of imagined in my head.
This could be a one spoonful of something for 450.
Get shanked.
That is actually really nice.
Yeah.
What's it taste like?
It's good.
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
But
Warm.
like fresh yogurt.
Well, no, if it's fresh. We'll all have the shits in about an hour if it's not.
Another one of our favourite dishes in Sri Lanka was definitely the kottu. Made from roti, curry and vegetables, this is delicious. Our next day trip was Yala National Park to see the wildlife of Sri Lanka. Where we saw spotted deer, and wild elephant. And apparently we got really lucky to spot this sloth bear. We also spotted hare and boar, black-faced langur, large monitors, oriental garden lizard, peacocks, storks, eagle, mongoose, jackal, buffalo, and crocodile. Sadly, we didn't spot any leopard that are said to flourish here, but I'd say that directly relates to the amount of tour jeeps that are on the roads, driving around recklessly and crowding sighting points, scaring most of the animals away. And when it came time to pay at the end, we were shanked once more. Yala National Park, you could really do a lot more to improve your services and keep your tour guides and drivers honest. We made it back to Gull Harbour and were warmly invited to Achinta's family home for a delicious Sri Lankan meal. And I've got to say, this was the best food we ate the whole time we were in Sri Lanka. Thank you, Achinta and family, for your warm hospitality, and it was lovely meeting you, Tanuki. It was time to say goodbye to Wal and Cam, who were going home to prepare their own boat to set sail to Fiji. In addition to our whirlwind tour, we also explored Gull Fort. It was first built in 1588 by the Portuguese and then extensively fortified by the Dutch in the 17th century from 1649 onwards. Not just an archaeological site, it's a cool place for locals to hang out and play cricket, or local cows to wander around and eat grass. We went down to check it out several times. There's so much to see and do here, and it really has a cool vibe. You can walk the battlements with a beer in hand for sundowners. Or just stroll around and check out the locals and the sights. There's incredible architecture, food stalls, stunning Sri Lankan women, pimped out tuk-tuks, and even some old classic cars. And there's so much colour. Lots of trinkets can be found. Or you can even pick up a Ceylon moonstone. And we even saw a bride and groom. We absolutely loved hanging out at Gull Fort. Another sweet spot was Bona Vista Beach, walking distance from the harbour. We would come here in the afternoons to beat the heat. Broads would catch some surf, and us girls even got in on the action. But mostly we came for a swim and a sundowner. Before leaving Sri Lanka, we took another quick trip to nearby Marissa Beach, where we caught a glimpse of traditional pole fishermen. We also visited Hikkaduwa Beach. It was originally a small fishing village, but now Hikkaduwa is one of the most developed surf tourist towns in Sri Lanka. The boys caught some waves, and we hung out and relaxed. Nearby is the Buddha Tsunami Monument. It is a sad reminder of the tragedy that struck here in the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami. Sri Lanka had not felt the 9.3 magnitude earthquake that hit Sumatra and had no warning that a tsunami would reach their shores. A crowded passenger train was struck here by the largest wave, and it is to this day considered the deadliest railway disaster in history. There is an on-site museum run by local monks with photos of that tragic day upon the walls as a reminder. The Buddha statue stands at 18.5 metres tall, the same height as the wave that struck the area. Civilian casualties were second only to those in Indonesia. We will remember those who were lost, and fortunately Sri Lanka has now implemented a better warning system for future. We also made a very quick trip to Colombo, Sri Lanka's capital. But soon it was time to say goodbye with our last dinner at our favourite restaurant, La Planète. Achinta checked us out, which was another smooth and easy process.
Well done.
Yep, that's the blessing. It's far to clearance, right? This one's important.
Thank you so much for taking care of us, Achinta. Then it was time to untie our lines and get going. Robin Muzzy came down to give us a hand and bid us farewell. Join us next time when we explore the atolls of the Maldives. Thanks for watching.